Let me get straight to the point. Arsenal want Sandro Tonali. It is not a rumour from some random Twitter account. It is not clickbait from a small blog. Fabrizio Romano himself confirmed it. And if you know anything about football transfers, you know that when Romano says something is confirmed, you sit up and pay attention. This is real. This is happening. And honestly, it could be the most important signing Arsenal make this summer. How did we even get here? To understand why Arsenal are chasing Tonali, you need to understand the problem they are trying to solve. Martin Zubimendi arrived at Arsenal last summer from Real Sociedad. Big signing, lots of excitement. Liverpool had been chasing him for ages, and Arsenal swooped in and took him right from under their noses. Fans were buzzing, Arteta was smiling, everyone thought this was the final piece of the puzzle. And for a while, it was brilliant. Zubimendi slotted in next to Declan Rice perfectly. He scored twice against Nottingham Forest early in the season. He controlled games, he kept things ticking. Rice even said publicly that their partnership has been outstanding and that Zubimendi had helped him grow even more as a player. So what went wrong? Simple answer: too much football. Not enough cover. Zubimendi has played over 2,500 minutes in the league this season. For a midfielder in that deep controlling role, that is a huge amount. And the player that was supposed to give him rest and competition, Christian Norgard, signed from Brentford, has barely played a single meaningful minute. Arteta clearly does not trust him in big moments, so Zubimendi has had to play almost everything. Every big game, every tough away fixture, every European night, and the cracks have started to show. He gave the ball away directly before Richarlison scored a long-range goal in the North London derby. He gifted possession to the opposition when Brian Mbeumo scored against Arsenal in another key match. These are not small mistakes. In a title race, moments like these are the difference between winning and losing. Zubimendi is not a bad player. Not at all. But he is a tired player. And a tired player in a team with no real backup is a problem. That is exactly where Tonali comes in. What Romano actually said before we go any further, let us talk about what Fabrizio Romano actually reported, because this is important. Romano shared on his YouTube channel that Arsenal have a confirmed interest in Sandro Tonali. He said they are closely monitoring the situation around the Newcastle midfielder, but he also made it clear that at this stage nothing is advanced. No offer has been submitted, no personal terms discussed, no medical booked. So we are at the interest stage. The serious, genuine, confirmed interest stage. Now, in transfer language, that is significant. Romano does not use the word confirmed lightly. He does not throw that word around just to get clicks. When he says confirmed, it means Arsenal have been actively watching Tonali, asking questions internally, and are genuinely considering making a move. Then Team Talk added more detail on Monday. They reported that Arsenal's interest is actually deeper than what was initially suggested publicly. The word they used was desperate. Arsenal are reportedly desperate to sign Tonali, and they want to beat Manchester United to his signature. Desperate is a strong word. It tells you this is not a casual interest. This is not Arsenal just keeping tabs on a player in case something comes up. This is Arsenal actively pushing to make this happen. And the reason they need to be desperate, because Manchester United are in the race too. The Manchester United problem, of course, United had to show up and make this complicated. Reports have confirmed that Tonali's representatives have been in contact with Manchester United in recent days. United clearly want him too, and look, you can understand why. Tonali is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League right now. Every top club wants him. But here is why this becomes a real battle. Tonali is not just a good player, he is an elite midfielder in his prime who could walk into almost any starting lineup in Europe. Newcastle are not going to let him go easily, and they are not going to sell him cheap. The reported asking price, around £100 million. Yes, £100 million. That is the number Newcastle want. And honestly, given how good Tonali has been for them, and how few players of his quality are actually available in the market, can you even argue with that price? Arsenal paid £105 million for Declan Rice in 2023. 3 years later, everyone agrees that was money well spent. Could history repeat itself? Who is Sandro Tonali, and why is everyone so excited? If you are not a Newcastle fan, you might be asking yourself what makes Tonali so special. Let me break it down simply. Tonali is an Italian central midfielder. He plays a deep controlling role. His job is not to score goals every week. or make flashy runs into the box. His job is to control the tempo of the game, to win the ball back quickly, to keep possession moving, to be the calm brain in the middle of the pitch when everything around him is chaotic. Sound familiar? That is exactly what Zubimendi is supposed to do for Arsenal. The difference is that right now, Tonali is doing that job at a higher level. Newcastle reporter Joel Bland described him as one of the best midfielders in Europe. That is not small praise. And when you look at what Tonali has done since coming back from his 10-month ban for gambling violations, it is genuinely impressive. Yes, let us address that. Tonali made serious mistakes off the pitch. He was banned from football for 10 months because of a gambling issue. A lot of people thought his career might never recover, but he came back, worked incredibly hard, and rebuilt himself completely. His performances at Newcastle since returning have been outstanding. That kind of mental strength matters, by the way. That tells you something about his character. Arsenal play in big pressure moments, Champions League nights, title run-ins. You need players who can handle the heat. Tonali has proven he can. The numbers that make Arsenal fans excited. Let me show you something interesting. When you put Tonali's stats this season next to Zubimendi's, a clear picture emerges. Chances created per 90 minutes. Tonali creates 1.2. Zubimendi creates 0.6. That is literally double the creativity from a player whose main job is not even to be creative. That is a massive difference. Ball recoveries per 90 minutes. Tonali wins 5.5 compared to Zubimendi's 3.5. So Tonali is not just more creative going forward, he is also doing more work without the ball. Take-ons completed per 90. Tonali completes 0.8 compared to Zubimendi's 0.3. This tells you Tonali is much more willing to drive forward with the ball, beat a man, and break lines. Zubimendi tends to recycle the ball sideways. Tonali pushes forward, fouls 1 per 90. Tonali wins 1.6 fouls. Zubimendi wins 0. Again, this shows that Tonali is more aggressive in his movement and gets into dangerous areas more often. Now, to be fair, Zubimendi is better in some areas too. His pass accuracy is 88% compared to Tonali's 85%. He also wins more individual tackles and duels. So defensively, in a pure one-on-one sense, Zubimendi holds his own. But here is the key thing. One of the main complaints about Zubimendi all season has been that he plays too safe. Too many sideways passes, not enough forward momentum, and the numbers confirm it. He plays 35.5 sideways passes per 90, while Tonali plays 31.6. Tonali is simply more progressive with the ball. In a team like Arsenal that wants to press high and attack quickly, having a midfielder who moves the game forward rather than sideways, that is genuinely valuable. Does Tonali actually fit Arsenal's system? This is the most important question. Because buying a great player means nothing if he does not fit how you play. I think Tonali fits Arsenal very well. Here is why. Arsenal under Arteta have always needed two things from their central midfielders. First, they need intelligence and discipline, the ability to read the game, hold shape, and not leave gaps. Second, they need someone who can help transition the ball quickly from defence to attack. Zubimendi has the first part down. He is intelligent and disciplined. His problem is the second part. He is too cautious in his forward passing, too comfortable playing it safe. Tonali has both parts. He is disciplined and smart, but he also has the confidence and the technical ability to play quick forward passes and drive into space. He also sits deep like Zubimendi. He is not a box-to-box midfielder in the way Rice is. He will not be bombing forward, scoring goals every week. That is not his job. His job is to sit alongside Rice, win the ball, and help Arsenal control games from deep. And honestly, a Rice and Tonali partnership sounds genuinely scary for opposition teams. Rice brings the power, the energy, and the goals. Tonali brings the control, the intelligence, and the forward progression. Those two qualities together in the same midfield, that is a real combination. The risks Arsenal cannot ignore. I want to be balanced here because I think it is important. The price is the first risk. £100 million is enormous. Arsenal have shown they are willing to spend big when it is right. Rice proved that. But £100 million on a midfielder who does not score regularly and whose main value is in controlling games is a big call. The signing needs to work out over multiple seasons to justify that investment. The second risk is what happens to Zubimendi. If Arsenal spend £100 million on Tonali, you cannot have one of them sitting on the bench unused. Both players will want to play. Both are too good to just be rotation options. Arteta will need to manage that situation very carefully. Does one of them leave? Could Arsenal sell Zubimendi to raise funds for the Tonali deal? That is possible. Zubimendi would have no shortage of clubs interested in him, but it would also mean losing a player who, when fully fit and rested, is genuinely excellent. The third risk is Manchester United. This is a real competition. United want Tonali too. If they move fast and offer more money, or promise him something Arsenal cannot, Arsenal could miss out. And missing out on a player this good to your rivals would sting. Why Arsenal must get this done, here is my honest take. Arsenal are so close to being a truly dominant force in English football and in Europe. The squad is good, really good. Arteta is one of the best managers in the world right now. The foundations are there, but midfield depth has been the one weakness this season. Everyone can see it. The Zubimendi situation has exposed it. And if Arsenal go into next season with the same midfield options they have now, that weakness will be exposed again in the title run-in, in the Champions League knockout stages, in the moments that matter most. Tonali fixes that problem. He is not just a squad player. He is not just someone to come on for the last 20 minutes and keep things safe. He is a genuine starter who would push Zubimendi for his place every single week. That competition would improve both players. That depth would allow Arteta to rotate without losing quality. And beyond the tactical stuff, think about the signal it sends. Arsenal going out and spending £100 million on a midfielder who is already thriving at a Premier League club. That tells every player in the world that Arsenal are serious. That tells every rival club that Arsenal are not going to sit still and wait for things to fall into place. Final word, nothing is done yet. Romano was clear. Interest is confirmed, but nothing is advanced. Transfer windows are unpredictable, and 100 things can change between now and the summer. But the intention seems clear. Arsenal see Tonali as the player who can fix their midfield problem and take them to the next level. If they can land him before United do, keep him fit, and get him playing alongside Rice, I genuinely think that midfield could be the best in the Premier League next season. So let me ask you this. Would you pay £100 million for Tonali? Do you think he is the upgrade Arsenal need? Or do you think they should back Zubimendi and sort the depth issue in a cheaper way? Let me know what you think, because this transfer story is only just getting started